Welcome to another episode of Ball,
baby.
Brought to you by the Run the Play
Network.
I'm your host, Anthony. To my right, I got the wavy man himself, Philly Phil in the Bell. Phil, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm just trying to get the crowd dizzy real quick. Trying to get them dizzy. I'm doing all right, though. March Madness is today, man. Just put the game on real quick. Creighton versus Louisville.
Yes,
but I'm
sir.
good, man. How about you?
I'm doing good. I am ready to talk about some NBA basketball. We really about to cook. We will get into some March Madness stuff, but that's going to be way later in the video. Today, our main focuses are what's Quentin Grimes' value, how do the 2 through 6 seeds pan out in the West, and who wins in a series between the Knicks and the Pistons. But before we get into all that, Phil, who's the player you've been watching this week? Who do you want to highlight this week? Who's the Phil's player of the week?
You know what? I was going to go in and talk about Denny Advia because he had a really good game last night against the Memphis Grizzlies. But I want to highlight Austin Reeves.
There you go.
I want to. Like, that man's been cooking the last 4 or 5 games he's been playing. In last night's game, I know Jokic and Murray didn't play. But, bro, he's learning, and it shows. And, I mean, he did a move, like, from Chris Paul against the Spurs, and I thought that was really cool. And then he's also learning from Luka.
Yeah.
So I thought that's really cool. But he's really been playing well.
He's got one of the best eye tests in the league.
Eye test?
Yeah, like he's one of those players that you just watch and you're like, dude, this dude is cold. Like I think that's why those all-star conversations were happening in our group chat, because you watch him and you're like, bro, this dude, like, there's nothing he can't do. You know, he could really do everything on all levels, playmaking, scoring. Offensively, he's pretty much like I don't want to say a perfect player, but he's got all the skills.
I like his shooting and scoring, but I really, really, really like his passing.
Yeah.
Like his passing. Sometimes you'll think he's in a jam, but the next thing you know, he'll find somebody wide open out of nowhere. I
know this is going to sound like whack because I'm like a white-looking dude, but when it's Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect and they're both hooping out there, it's so fun to watch. Like, ain't shit funner than just 2 white boys going out there just killing.
Bro, somebody called them, like, Dalton, Luka, and Austin Reeves the Snow Time Lakers. I was like, oh, my gosh.
That shit's so funny.
What about you?
My player I've been watching, again, we just talked about this in a TikTok, but I'll bring it back up here. I've been watching 90s basketball, bro. I watched the 91 finals where the Lakers lost to the Bulls, and I was watching the 93 finals. Bulls were Supersonics. I think it's 95. But yeah, I mean, I've been watching a lot of 90s basketball. I don't want to be the guy anymore that says Jordan's the GOAT and not watch, like, many full games to back it up. Like, I've watched full games. I've watched, like, you know, when the Hardwood Classics come on and it's like Michael Jordan scoring 60 against the Celtics or The Last Dance or stuff like that. But I think it's hard to scale because my argument against LeBron has always been he chokes in the finals. Yeah. Or he has choked in the finals without watching, like, every Michael Jordan final series. So that's kind of the goal, to go through and watch every single game Michael Jordan's played in the finals. Yeah. So, you know, just trying to educate myself, get my ball knowledge up.
What do you notice? Like, what do you feel like is the biggest difference you've noticed since watching 90s basketball compared to today?
I think the problem that everyone has, I think the problem on both sides is, first of all, that when old heads talk about it, they talk about it like they were punching each other every play, and that's just not true. Like, it really isn't. I think the biggest difference that goes into Jordan's favor, though, is the spacing. Like, there's just no space on the court, and he's still getting it done. Like, I legitimately think if Jordan played, like, I'm going to sound like an old head here, but if he was in this era, bro, he'd average 40, 45. Like, he could just get downhill to the bucket with ease, with 2 guys on him, with 3 guys on him, and it's just, like, it's nothing to him. So if he had 4 shooters around him, and he could just size up and then kick, like, he dead-ass could have that, like, that Harden season where he had, like, 35 and 10. Like, I could see that from a Jordan in his prime in this era. So it's interesting, bro. And I'm telling you, young kids at home, older people, whoever, if you care about the game, like, you definitely should go watch those. I mean, if you pay for League Pass, you have access to those games. So you're paying for those games and you're not watching them. Like, just go educate yourself before you have, like, a super strong opinion on it, you know? Because I'm locked in. I'm watching. I'm analyzing. It's fun to watch. I really liked watching the 91 series because Magic Johnson's so fucking good. Like, it's just fun to watch. So I'd recommend it to everyone at home because I feel like it's such a narrative-driven thing. Like, everyone only just, like, repeats what they see online, where it's either the 90s are terrible or LeBron wouldn't survive in the 90s. So I think those narratives are just, like, they're what's killing the game, really, because that's why dudes like Shaq and Chuck go on TNT and just shit on players and do shit like that. So I think we got to dead those narratives and just watch basketball. Yeah. And that's kind of what my focus is now.
All right. That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to start the episode, too. That's tough.
That great way to start the episode. And another great way to start the episode is with our sponsor, Boom Fantasy. Let's hear a word from them. This haircut is brought to you by Boom Fantasy.
That's tough.
There you go. There you go. 2 legs can pay you out 500 times your money. Perfect for all your favorite sports. Phil, what's the code they could use on Boom Fantasy?
Hey, RTP. Run the play.
That gives you a risk-free bet up to $100. Click the link in the description to download now. Let's get back to the video. All right, Phil. All right. What you think about Quentin Grimes, man? You want to start there? No. My bad. Let's start with how the 2 through 6 seeds pan out in the West.
Okay. I'm just cool starting with the guys, but I like that.
I think I'm going to make this the title of the video.
Gotcha.
So, the 2 through 6 seeds pan out in the West. Right now, let me pull it up. Do you have it for right now or no?
The standings?
Yeah, right now it is the Thunder are the 1 seed, which they're probably going to stay there.
They're staying there.
Rockets are 2. Yep. Lakers are 3. Nuggets are 4. Grizzlies are 5.
Yes, sir.
Warriors are 6. With the Clippers, low-key, and the Timberwolves kind of sneaking up at 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Pretty much same record as the Warriors. Let's talk about it. Obviously, OKC stays number 1. Who do you have going up to number 2 or staying at number 2?
Honestly, I think even though we did get the tiebreaker, or there is no tiebreaker, we just had a tie. So we're tied with Denver.
Divisional wins or something like that.
Yeah, so we have more of that. So if we have a tie record, we would take the 2nd seed. But I feel like Denver is going to win a couple more games because I think the one against the Warriors was a big one. Because they didn't have Murray and Jokic, but they still won that one. And I think that's going to be a big factor in them staying because we still have one of the toughest schedules. So I think Denver could get the 2nd seed. I wanted to try to put the Lakers lower for a sec because we have the hardest remaining schedule, and I was like, maybe that's going to play a factor. But I do think we can take the 3rd seed only because we have a lot of the tiebreakers against these other teams, except for the Rockets, which we still have 2 games against.
So you have Grizzlies. I mean, you have Nuggets 2, Lakers 3.
Yes, I have the Lakers at 3.
So the Rockets slip like that?
The Rockets are going to be at 4.
The Rockets just won 8 straight games. They're 2 games up on the Lakers. Which is the 3rd seed, and you have them sliding down to 4. I mean, it could happen, but I don't know how.
I am only thinking about it too because we have 2 extra games than them. So I think that if we can get 2 games against the hardest opponents we have, we still have some easy games still that we can take advantage more than the Rockets, and I think that. Depending on if Amen Thompson comes back, because he was a big factor in that win against us. Like, him getting that putback dunk, him getting a couple of steals in the final seconds helped them. So if they get him back, yes. But right now, since they don't have him, I think we can beat them. I think we can get those 2 games, especially with Luka now. And I think that takes us over.
Dude, I just think this is my whole thing with them. To start the year, they were the 2 seed.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much cemented 2 seed. Like, no one was really touching them. And then Van Vliet goes down, and they slide, and then all these narratives start where the Rockets are fake, the Rockets aren't good, how'd they get there? Now the Lakers got Luka, they're there. Now the Nuggets are rolling, they're the 2 seed. I think Fred Van Vliet comes back, and they win 8 straight games. Like, I think this is what that team is. I think they're, like, a cemented 2 seed. They've been like that, bro. They've been like that all year. Healthy, they've been one of the best teams in the NBA. You could agree on that, right? At least regular season-wise.
I don't know.
What is... Okay,
I don't know.
I'm going to pull up StatMuse now. What is Fred Van Vliet's record this season? Because when did
he go down again?
He missed like 2 months, and that's when they slid to 5, and now he's back, and they're back at 2.
Let me see. I'm pulling up the remaining like tough schedule, and I'm just seeing like. All right, so they're directly in the middle.
Fred VanVleet has a 35-16 record this season.
35-16.
Yeah, which is decent when they're playing, bro. They win. That's like 70% of their games.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's gonna be hard to catch, bro. Especially if they've won 8 straight. You know, and that counts games where he's gone down and they've lost.
Mm-hmm.
I got it, bro. I gotta put them at 2. I feel like.
I mean, I'm not going against you if you put them at 2. I just feel like the Lakers can hold. Oh, you're putting them at 2.
They're not holding. The Rockets are the 2 seed. The Rockets passed the Lakers.
But it's still close. Like, it's still close in the stat line because
But
Denver,
they've won 2 straight, and they're up 2 games, and they've won 8 straight.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
Who are their next opponents?
I don't know if it matters, bro. They've beaten.
Because, I mean, they still have 1 game against OKC. They still have 2 games against the Lakers, 2 games against Denver. I mean, against the Flippers, but, I mean, I feel like they could take that.
Suns, Jazz. I feel like they're fine, bro. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're fine. Now, I do want to say their 8 games are not very impressive wins.
Mm-hmm.
But 8 wins, bro, in a row is like... I'm not saying they're championship contenders because that was my whole thing when I argued with you about that with the Lakers win streak. But when I'm saying they could win regular season games, you know, I think they're locked. For me, they're locked in for 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were to play at Lakers or Nuggets, I would probably go with Lakers or Nuggets at this point.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I have the Lakers at 3 and then them at 4.
But they dropped 3 seeds, bro. You think?
Well, technically 2 seeds because they're going to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
I don't feel like that's a big difference because it's that close in the West.
So what's your 5? Your 5 is Memphis 6 Warriors, or you flipped them?
Yeah.
I want Lakers Warriors in the first round,
mm-hmm.
just because I think OKC and Denver are the 2 most real teams in the West,
mm-hmm.
and I don't want to see Denver get knocked out early. Like I want to see a second round series with Denver.
Oh, you want to see Denver versus who in the second round?
I'm just saying as a basketball fan more so. I want to see and like low-key if the Lakers bust Warriors ass or vice versa,
mm-hmm.
then they're probably going to end up playing the Rockets or the Timberwolves or the Clippers in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
We could get that Lakers versus Clippers series. This is the way to it.
I've been waiting for it.
This is the way to it.
I've been waiting for it, bro.
Unless Clippers blow something. But if it's Rockets versus Timberwolves or Rockets versus Clippers, I think Clippers. Dude, actually no. I'm not gonna take the Clippers this year.
I'm going with the Rockets.
If we do playoff predictions, don't let me take the Clippers at all. Because every year I talk myself into taking the Clippers, and I fall flat.
Nah, there's no point.
No point. So I put Rockets 2, Lakers 3, Denver 4, Memphis 5, Warriors 6.
But bro, like, wait, you said Rockets,
Lakers, Nuggets, Memphis, Warriors.
Wow. So we have it a little reversed at the 2 through 4, but
yeah, that's where the interesting part is.
Do you feel like the Warriors can jump up to 3?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they could. Maybe
What's making you a little hesitant?
I don't know. I think my whole thing, bro, is like I have been riding for the Rockets and the Grizzlies all year because I think when healthy, both those teams have been very good. And I feel like they don't get the media coverage that they deserve because, like, no one's talking about how the Rockets won 8 straight games. You know, when the Lakers won 5 in a row, that was all over Twitter. You feel me? So that's just.
But those were some tough games. I'm just saying.
The ones we talked about last time.
The 5-win streak, like
they only beat the Knicks.
We played the Knicks, and then we had 2 other games against tough
Wait,
opponents.
which ones are you talking about?
I'm talking about
the one right before they got Luka. That we
my
about.
bad.
That's what I'm talking about. I feel like when the Lakers roll or Cleveland rolls or Boston starts rolling, we get media coverage. But when a team like the Rockets or Grizzlies roll, it's kind of like they're not real. You know, that's just how I feel. So it's not directed at the Lakers specifically or nothing like that. But when one of those teams roll, it's just kind of like we don't believe in them, which I don't get. So yeah, I'm going to give them their flowers for this season because they've had great seasons. I could see the Warriors passing Memphis, though, But I think the Rockets just have been so fucking good. Like, so fucking good this season and so underrated. So, I'm going to put them. I'm locking them in. I don't think the Warriors could get them, but maybe the Warriors could get in there with Lakers and Denver.
I'm just, like, worried. Well, I mean, now they don't have the easiest schedule. They have the third easiest schedule. The Minnesota Timberwolves have the easiest schedule in the West.
They could climb then. If it's that easy. I mean, I don't know, though. I've never been a strength of schedule guy. Mm-hmm. I feel like it really doesn't make a difference. Like, you got to win your games. You got to, you know, like, you're going to play the same amount of teams every year. You feel me? So, strength of schedule to me doesn't move me. Doesn't make me feel different.
Bro, I was talking to people yesterday about this. If you're not watching the basketball games right now and still saying it's boring, I don't know what you're watching, man.
People don't be watching, bro. That's the fucking problem. That's why I'm watching this fucking 90s games, because dudes just... I'm going to go in again. I'm going to chill. You talk. Okay. You go. Say your piece.
No, I'm just... Like, all these games, I've been so excited to watch everything. Whenever there's a West team playing anybody, like, it doesn't matter who it is. If it's the Pelicans, if it's the stinking...
Yeah, Pelicans have been, like, must-watch damn near lately.
Bro, the fact that the Pelicans beat the Timberwolves yesterday and the Nuggets lost to the Wizards the other day, that's how insane it is. Because it's not like... I'm not trying to make fun of them going like, oh, haha, they lost to the stinking worst teams. Isn't that... I'm saying it's that intense. I'm just watching it.
Yeah.
Because, like... You expect these teams to just sit down and be like, yeah, we're the Wizards. We suck. We're not going to really go in on Jokic. We're the Pelicans. We suck. We got Zion back, but we're not going to go in. But they're still going in because it's competition.
Dude, I want them to get Trey Johnson, the Pelicans.
You want the Pelicans to get Trey Johnson?
That's my fit for him, bro, because I want him to end up being a bench player.
Kind of want Dylan Harper to go there.
Which is crazy. No, but Dylan Harper's too good. This is what I'm saying. Like, I want... I've been saying this for so long, bro. I missed, like, backup scorers. Mm-hmm. We don't got Dion Waiters in the league anymore. We don't got Jared Smith in the league anymore. Like, Peyton Pritchard could score, but it's all off the catch. Mm-hmm. Ty Jerome, I feel like, is the closest thing to that. But it's just, he doesn't play like a jackass enough, you know? Like, I think Trey Johnson could turn into that because he's got... Teams are going to draft him and convince themselves that they got the next Shea because he's such a slow, like, ISO scorer. But I just really want him to come off the bench and just Dion Waiters shit. Tim Hardaway Jr. I need some shit like that, bro. Because all of the guys that used to do that are just like catch and shooters now.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not the same.
No, I feel you. But low-key, I want to ask you before we go on, because we didn't talk about OKC. Now, out of these 2 through 6 like teams, who are you most worried about? Like, who do you feel like could give you competition? I know you're probably going to be like, oh, we OKC is different, but like,
Phil, you know I'm never on that timing, bro.
I'm just saying.
Don't associate me with that.
I
ain't on that timing, bro. When you're asking me who's the most, there's got to be a team that's the most scary.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like, and I know Jokic is a dog. Mm-hmm. I feel like Jokic wants to beat us. Like, I don't know why. I just get that itch that Jokic hates the Thunder when he plays, and I know he's kind of like that with every team. But I think Denver would be the scariest. I think Lakers would be not the scariest, but I think if they were to beat us, that's worst case scenario because I know so many fucking Laker fans. Like, that shit would piss me off because dudes that don't know ball would start talking to me.
Yeah.
Denver, I feel like I wouldn't be confident in us beating them. Like, I would think we could beat them, but I wouldn't be like, oh, we're going to walk out this series. You know, like, that would be a war. I think every other team I feel more confident in. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Is it mainly just because of Jokic?
Yeah, literally. Literally just because of Jokic, bro. Because our bench would whoop their bench's ass. Mm-hmm. But playoffs, bro, Jokic is going to play every minute of the game.
Well, yeah, he's going to play every minute. But, like, I don't know. He's still going to have to come off a couple of times, and it's probably going to screw them up because that's how messed up they've been lately. I
don't know. In the playoffs, bro, in the playoffs, it's different, bro. You're playing Jokic, and Jokic is saying, I want to be out there every minute. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the benefit of the Thunder is their depth, and that helps in the regular season. And I think if we use it right in the first round, that's going to help us through the playoffs. But once we start playing against, like, the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Rockets, we're going to have to start going through and playing Shea 42, 43 minutes, which is just not something he's done all season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say Denver's the scariest because I think their starting 5 is the best in the West.
Okay.
Is that a hot take? Is their starting 5 the best in the West? Warriors, I feel like, are up there.
I don't think it's the Warriors because obviously Quentin Post is the starting center there, and that eliminates it for me. I can't say the Lakers only because Jackson Hayes is the starting center, but I do like the other four.
I like the Warriors 4 better than the Lakers 4.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You talking about Stephen? Wait, so Stephen
Especially
Curry?
in the playoffs.
What is it? Stephen Curry,
Moses Moody, Jimmy, Draymond.
Stephen Curry, Moses Moody, Jimmy, and Draymond
Yeah, I'll take that.
over Luka, LeBron, Reeves, and what? Finney-Smith?
You're the Laker fan. Who's the starter?
I say Finney-Smith.
No,
Rui. My fault. Rui.
I think I take the Warriors 4.
I'm taking
I
R4.
think I take Quentin Post over Jackson Hayes.
Nah,
but that might be beef with Jackson Hayes.
Nah, I Jackson Hayes isn't the best center, but I mean Quentin Post is good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm taking Jackson Hayes over Quentin Post.
I feel like the problem with Quentin Post is he just looks like a bum. Quentin Post is pretty decent. I'm not saying like he's in the top half of NBA players or nothing like that, but he's a cool quality center. Mm-hmm. He just looks like you don't want a Quentin Post on your team, bro.
Nah, I feel you, but I don't know.
I don't think they need a center. They've been great without a center so many times.
No, that's true. But I mean, look what Luka's doing with Jackson Hayes and all these other guys. Like he had Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith scoring 10+ points.
But I mean,
they don't even average 10.
Are the Warriors not doing similar? And Jared Vanderbilt, bro, is like that. So I don't want to hear that.
He's good, but he's not like a scorer. He's
I know,
good.
But he's good. I feel like he could get 10. I don't think acting like that's all Luka.
But it kind of is with that.
I don't think so, bro.
For him
to get 10, it's not like he's getting 20, 30, 40. He's getting 10. We're going to act like, come on, bro.
He's not averaging 10. He doesn't do that. He's like a 5 rebound, 5 assists with maybe 2 steals and 1 block type guy. And they'll get 2 points or 4 points.
No, bro. I think you're tripping. Vando?
I'm not tripping. Vando, that's what he does.
2 points or 4 points for Vando, bro.
That's what he averages.
No, bro. There's no way.
That's what Vando averages.
He averages over 4.
All right, my bad. 5.
But you're saying 2 or 4 like he'd just be out there doing cardio.
Because he's not a scorer like that. Like, he can score, but it's not like he can instantly... Like, he's not like Dalton Connect.
I know he's like, not... But, bro, Dalton Connect ain't no scorer either, bro.
Dalton Connect is a scorer.
He's a shooter. Shooter and scorer is different.
All right.
That's different. Because shooter, I feel like Luka can make a shooter better.
Uh-huh.
I feel like a scorer, I look at Austin Reeves, who's like a bucket.
Okay.
ISO. That's what I think of.
Got you.
This is off topic. I'm taking the Warriors 5 over Lakers 5.
All right. So, there was an interesting game this week, and it almost scared the whole West.
What game?
The Rockets versus 76ers. And
talk about it.
That almost, the reason why it was good, even though the Rockets won, was because of one guy, Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
Want to talk about our dude Quentin Grimes real quick?
Let's talk about Q Grimes.
Now, did you watch that game?
No, I've been following him, box score watching him because I'm not watching Sixers games. So I'm gonna keep it a stack. But I did rewatch his. What do you have? 50 that one time? 44? His 44-point game.
I think it was 42 or 44, but in that range.
But I watched that game. And I'm just curious how much you think he's gonna get paid. I feel like that's the real.
I loved it when you asked that question.
Yeah.
I'm being for real, because. Look, at first when you asked it, I was like, there's no freaking way he's going to get that much money. I saw the last 5 games, last 10 games he's played, and I was like, knowing Daryl Morey and knowing that he'd be asking AI about some stuff, AI could tell him, give this dude 30 to 35.
That's what he's going to get paid, bro.
I don't think he's going to get paid that much.
Bro, listen. Mm-hmm. Jalen Green got a 3-year, $106 million deal.
Yeah.
Which we thought was a good deal for him. That's a cheap deal for Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs got 5-year, $150.
Mm-hmm.
They're both his same class. He's a fit player. I don't think Philly could give him $30 million. Mm-hmm. But I think a shitty team could offer him $30 million, $35 million, and Philly would have to match that. You don't think a Utah would be like, let's just throw, because teams can't hold their money. They gotta pay people. I feel like if I gotta throw money at anyone, I'd rather pay a Quentin Grimes than like a older guy, a veteran guy. Mm-hmm. Am I right in that? Wrong in that?
I think he's gonna get money. I just don't think it's gonna be up in the 30s.
So what are you thinking?
I think that easily, he's gonna get offered 13 to 15
Bro,
mil.
he's way more than that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say easily.
Okay.
I'm starting off.
He's starting off. Okay. I thought you were saying that's what he's. Go ahead.
Nah. But the most I think he's gonna get is 20.
20?
I think he's gonna get 20 mil per year.
I'll bet you on that he gets more than 20.
20 mil per year.
I bet you he gets more than 23.
More than 23?
Yeah, I bet you a Chipotle bowl on that.
You know what? I'd be cool with that. I just don't because the reason why I'm thinking that is because GMs, I feel like they're gonna look at the team. They're gonna be like, "Yo, his usage rate went up so much because he's playing with nobody except for Gershon Yabusele." I don't feel like it's a good enough risk for that.
But see, teams are gonna look at it and say that, but there's also gonna be teams that are like, "What if this is real?" and pay him the money. You know, not every team is gonna say he's not worth that. You feel me? So like I look at like Anthony Simons, I feel like he's in that range. Anthony Simons gets $25 million a year. Nick Claxton gets $24 million a year. Cam Johnson gets $23 million a year. And all these guys signed, and every year it just goes up and up and up and up. You know, so DeAndre Hunter, $22.5 million a year. Like I think he's worth as much. Like Tobias Harris, for example, signed last year for $26 million a year. Would you be surprised if Quentin Grimes made more than Tobias Harris? I wouldn't be surprised.
Honestly, yes.
You'd be surprised.
I'd be a little surprised if he made a little bit more than Tobias Harris.
I wouldn't.
Because I'm iffy on this, bro. Like, if I'm a GM, I don't feel like there's enough evidence to, like, offer him that much money.
How old is he? Probably like 25. What college you go to?
Wait. I literally saw it the other day.
I know it.
Wait.
He's 24.
He's 24. Okay, so no, I'm still going to hold off on that. I want to say Gonzaga, but I don't think it's Gonzaga.
Houston. Same vibe. Both good schools.
I am so bad at stinking college basketball, bro.
It's okay. We're gonna get you there. I think he's gonna get that. I think so. Like Jalen Johnson gets $30 million. I don't think Quentin Grimes is as good of a player as Jalen Johnson, but I think a team could pay him and convince themselves that he is.
I just feel like I don't know. I'm not gonna say he seems like a Cam Thomas to me, but like,
well, what's Cam Thomas get paid?
Isn't Cam Thomas gonna get paid like a bunch of money?
He's probably gonna get a bag.
Yeah,
and I agree with you. I don't think he's like that either, like a Cam Thomas.
But I don't even think he deserves like I don't even think Cam Thomas deserves that type of money.
I don't think so either, and that's what I'm saying. Like. He might not deserve it, but a team has to spend their money, and they're probably going to pay like Cam Thomas's Quentin Grimes. I would love to see him in Denver. Quentin Grimes in Denver would be special.
They need him.
They need him, and if they trade away, I don't think trade away Aaron Gordon, but if they could trade away a Michael Porter.
But that's the crazy thing about it too. They don't need to train anybody if they're going after Quentin Grimes. He's on a team option this year. So
team or RF? I think it's restricted.
It's a team option. Or restricted team option, whatever. Because it was in the blue. That's what it pulled up on. So I'm like, that's a team option. So no matter what, Sixers got to decide something. And if they have to pick that up. Or they have to decide to pick it up or not. And then they have to pay him. He can choose after that to be like, all right, whatever.
Nah, he's a free agent in the offseason.
That's what I'm like. Maybe it's that.
But this is the thing with him. So he can leave in the. Let's say a team offers him $50 million.
Yeah.
The 76ers could still match that, no matter how much it is, and keep him. But they would have to opt into matching that, which it's like if it's $50 million, we're not going to pay you $50 million. But if it's like $30 million, they can match $30 million. That's why a team to sign Quentin Grimes in the first place is going to have to overpay him, because then Philly's going to have to opt to not match that money.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I were any other team, like if I was a GM, I'm not getting in that. I'm not getting that bid war because I feel like it's.
I wouldn't get in a bidding war for him.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like it might get into though.
But this is the thing about it, bro. Like in Dallas, he was probably gonna get 23, 24 million. And I don't think it was bad for them to trade him. That might be a hot take, but. I think trading him made more sense because you're not going to pay him. Like we're talking about, no matter what he gets paid, he's probably not worth it. So they traded him so they don't have to deal with that. Pretty much.
You feel like they would have paid him that much? I feel like he probably would have made Max Christie money.
Which is how much?
That was like, what, $8 million per year or 11 mil? 8 to 11 mil per year?
I don't know, bro.
If he was with the Mavericks.
But didn't the Lakers extend Max Christie, correct?
Yes.
This is different because he's going into free agency. So if they were to extend him, sure, I agree with you there. But if he goes into free agency, a team could say, here, Quentin Grimes, here's $30 million. And the Mavericks would have to be like, oh, well, we want you still, so we're going to pay you $30 million.
Oh, man.
You know, so I don't know if I think he's going to get a lot of money, bro. Because he's a dude that teams are going to be able to talk themselves into. That's how I feel. Like, I could see a team that's lacking shooting going out and saying, like, we need to pay this guy $30 million.
Bro, this offseason is going to be so insane, man.
Who else is available in the offseason? Do you know?
I'm going to say Brandon Ingram, but before it was I don't even think the free agency market is that crazy this year. I think the top people are like centers like Naz Reid, Miles Turner.
Did they not extend Naz
Benedict
Reid?
Mathurin. Nah, they haven't extended him yet. That's why the biggest thing. That's why everybody keeps saying he's coming to the Lakers because he's going to be a free agent this year.
Brooke Lopez, Capella,
that too.
Bruce Brown, Brogdon, Miles Turner, Tim Hardaway. I'm just looking at unrestricted free agents. D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert, Luke Kennard, Schroeder, Steven Adams, Bagley. Shout out Bagley. I love Marvin Bagley. Chris Boucher.
He needs to go to a contender, bro.
Chris Boucher could be a Laker.
Chris Boucher is good. I like him. I want low-key to go after Clint Capella, though. I feel like that'd be a budget center that we could go after. Because, he's not going to – do you feel like he'd demand a lot of money?
I don't think so, but I think there's – if a lot of teams need a center, I could see him getting paid.
I feel like he's going to be a Laker.
Because between, like, Chris Boucher type of players and, like, who else is here? Like, Bagley's, like, dudes like that, those are going to be the secondary options. So, at first, everyone's going to be like, I want to pay Capella, I want to pay Capella, I want to pay Capella. Mm-hmm. Because he's probably – him, Miles Turner are probably the best guys.
My bad. I'm trying to look at the list now, and I'm trying to see, like...
Oh, Naz Reid's going to leave. He got a player option for $15 million, bro.
That's why I was like... That's why I'm wondering. Okay, all right. I'm sorry to bring it back to the Lakers.
Bring it back to the Lakers. It's fine.
I low-key feel like the reason... I don't think the reason they rescinded the trade with Mike Williams was because of his feet entirely, and they were thinking about, like the long term with Mark Williams. Like, what the heck? Like, we need Dalton back because this guy's broken. I think somebody called one of their players, like LeBron, Luka, or somebody like that, and they said, yo, they're trying to come play here next year. And they were like, all right, let's rescind the trade. So that they can go after a Naz Reid, a Miles Turner, or a stinking trade for Nick Claxton, or even a Chris Boucher, or even Clint Capella. I feel like that's what's going on.
As crazy as it is for me to say, I think the dude that I could see going there is Miles Turner.
Miles Turner?
Yeah, because I think Naz Reid is going to get like a max.
Yeah.
I don't think the Lakers are going to give him a max.
I would give him a max.
Really?
Because I think he's worth it. I think that Naz Reid is that good, and I feel like because if you think about it, when Julius Randle went down, Naz Reid was still helping them. Like,
no, he's like that for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Lakers would give him a max, bro.
I feel you.
I just don't know if he's the type of center y'all need either. Because I like him with the ball more.
Yeah.
And in the corner, I think Luke and LeBron thrive with lob threats, like Capella. Like, Miles Turner could be both because you don't really need the ball. But Miles Turner would be the perfect fit, I think.
And Chris Boucher.
Yeah, Chris Boucher, I think, would be like the budget guy. If you don't get anyone, you pay Chris Boucher. But it's going to be interesting for sure.
I'm low-key looking at Benedict Mathurin, too, depending on what they do with Miles Turner. Because I feel like the Pacers are going to try to retain him.
They're going to have to pick, I think, between them.
Do you feel like
they should pick Miles Turner.
What would you do if they lost Miles Turner? If the Pacers lost Miles Turner?
I'd break down crying. No, I don't really care. Do whatever you want.
Like,
if I'm the Pacers, what would I do?
Yeah.
I mean,
what is the position you would go
Wiseman and Isaiah Jackson still, right?
Yeah.
They're both hurt. I mean, I think they're fine. I don't think they need him. Isaiah Jackson was really good before he got hurt. Mm-hmm. He tore something in his knee or something like that, but I'd be fine if I were them.
Okay.
Let's talk about the East, though. Let's go to the Knicks and Pistons series.
Oh, man.
This series is getting... Because this is pretty much locked in. The 4 versus 5, Bucks versus Pacers, which we talked about last week, is pretty much locked in. Mm-hmm. And now Knicks versus Pistons is pretty much locked in. I've been watching more Pistons, and their half-court offense is a lot better than I thought it was. I'm going to give them that credit, first of all, because I really thought it was kind of the Cade show, and like everyone else is it. Not saying this in a shitting on him way, but I thought it was more like Cade has the ball, everyone in the corners, and that's how they're generating points. That's not what it is at all. They drop a lot of actions from Malik Beasley. There's actions for Cade. But I don't know, bro. I think Cade, to me, and I've been on Cade early. And I'm not saying that I know he's the number one pick, but I was saying that he could be all NBA this year. Before the season started, I said that last year. He let me down last year. I don't know if he has the reputation to be a guy that could carry a team in the playoffs yet. And I think we've seen it in the regular season. I just got to see it in the playoffs before I give him that. So I'm going to give it to the Knicks because I think Jalen Brunson has shown that he could be that guy in the playoffs. We saw it all season last season until he got hurt. So I'm going to go with the Knicks for now. But the gap is getting closer and closer and closer as the season comes to an end. So what do you think about that series?
Well, one thing, I'm annoyed with the Knicks right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really annoyed. I did not like, and I know maybe you're going to have a different take on it, but I did not like the way they responded to the Draymond Green beef between him and Cat.
You don't like how they responded?
I don't like how, so maybe it's because I'm not toxic. I just think that if my teammate's getting trashed on by another teammate.
I hated that too. You're right.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Cat.
Oh, no.
You're right.
I respected Cat for standing his ground and going at Draymond Green.
Yeah.
And that's basketball. That's what you do.
Draymond, bro, is the biggest lame. I'm sorry, but he just pisses me the fuck off. But go on.
Well, I'm just trying to speak on it like.
Give everyone the situation.
All right, got you. Okay? And I'm going to get to why this is a big deal to me. Okay? So the situation is, I forgot what happened. It was like a person died, right?
So what happened was Cat missed a game earlier in the season to personal issues, and Draymond said he was ducking him. Yeah. And it turns out that his Cat's girlfriend's best friend died.
Yeah.
And Draymond said he was ducking him.
Yeah.
So
because of this, they played a game.
Wait. Let me fill in the blank then, real quick.
Yeah.
When Draymond heard about this, Draymond didn't back down either. And he was like, I understand that people go through stuff, whatever, but...
Oh, he said that?
I just, it was something like that. And I don't have the exact quote. Maybe I'll pull up the video.
Yeah.
But he's like, I just saw what I saw in the report or something like that. So it wasn't like an apology or nothing like that. Go on. My bad.
That's unbelievable, man. No, it's okay. But basically, leading up to that game, you've been hearing this, and it was 4 days out too. So the Knicks teammates knew about this. I guarantee you the front office knew about it. I don't know how the front office reacted, but it's mainly how his teammates reacted to this. So during the game, they're talking trash. They're going in. I think Cat still had a pretty good game. Obviously, the Warriors won. They won by 3. But after the game, Cat walks off. And Cat walks off from the game when the buzzer goes off. He's not hugging nobody, obviously. But all the Knicks players are going up to Draymond, hugging him, laughing, doing this, doing that. And I understand maybe it's like, it's not like some people are like, it's a game. Like, they just play. It's not that big of a deal. But if you have a dude like...
That's personal, bro.
Yeah, it's personal. If you have a dude making fun of you after you, a person close to you lost somebody, and that's why you lost, you didn't go to a game, and then you have a person... So basically, think about it this way. Ant's my teammate. Ant has somebody talking. We have a game coming up, and the person on the opposing team talks mess about him and his mama or whatever. Oh. Whatever. Something like that. Something personal. To me, that opponent, I'm not cool with that dude that game, and I'm not high-fiving doing this and doing that, whether we lost or not. Got personal. He's taking it, probably in this situation, he's taking it personal too. That's my teammate. I'm not talking to the dude. I'm not hugging him. So these future games coming in, especially the playoffs, I don't even think they're with Cat at this point. I don't even think they're going to be playing. I don't even think chemistry's good.
Oh, hell no. No way it's good.
But I just don't like how they just going up to Draymond, hugging him while Cat's clearly pissed off. That's your teammate, bro.
Yeah.
And y'all just lost. Why are we being buddy-buddy after a close game like that?
Yeah, nah. And especially with all the personal stuff, and then Draymond goes to the podium after the game, and, he doesn't say anything directly, but it's, jabbing at Cat. Draymond's the only dude to start a fucking beef with a player and then talk shit after and do, at that level. That shit was so lame to me, bro. And I agree with you, bro. It's, the people saying, oh, it's just a game, whatever. Haven't been in a locker room, bro. I never played NBA basketball, as you guys could tell. I never played college basketball.
Yeah.
But in high school, if it was at that level, bro, like, I'm ready to throw hands.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're riding for someone like that, and I get it's different, they're getting paid now, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not all close. But the way that the Knicks are built, bro, it's a 5-man rotation. You know, you got 5 players, and that's kind of it. You need everyone to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Y'all should be riding for each other and not sucking off Draymond. Me personally.
Well, the reason why I'm going in on that too is because for this hypothetical situation, you're playing the Pistons, and the Pistons got Isaiah Stewart, Dennis Schroeder, guys who talk on that bench. On the bench. What's gonna happen if they get personal? Especially in a series where you're playing them, most likely 6-7 games?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? You lose by 10, 15, whatever. You're going to go up to them after the game, be all buddy, whatever. This is playoffs, man. This is playoffs.
A big thing with this Knicks team is I also don't feel like they have that enforcer type of player.
Yeah.
That's going to tell the team, hey, we got to all get together. Like, Jalen Brunson is just cool. Josh Hart, he's a dog, but he's just, like, he's cool. They don't got no one that's going to, like, if a team's fighting, they don't got no one that's going to get in there. You know, which is, like, cool or whatever, but it doesn't matter too much. But a team like the Pistons and a team like the Knicks that it kind of looks like there's issues from behind. Like, bro, Cat just walked off, head down, and everyone else is dapping up. Like, I'd be pissed if I was Cat. So, there's issues there for sure. But, again, I'm going to still go with the Knicks to be safe. But
I'm going to go with the Pistons.
You would go with the Pistons?
I'm
and how
gonna go
many?
with the
7?
Pistons.
6?
Yeah, but also it's because I'm worried about Brunson.
Yeah.
Because the way he came down on his ankle, it looked way worse. It just looked really bad. So I don't even know if he's even going to be 100 when they start that series.
Hey, he wasn't 100 last year, and he was killing.
Oh, yeah.
I just think this team does have the people to guard Cade. Between Bridges, Anunoby, and Hart, you could rotate dudes around to guard Cade. So I think that could be an issue for them, for the Pistons. And I also think that the Pistons don't really have a Brunson stopper. I think Brunson cooks really anyone. So, yeah, that would be my thing. And even, like, Durant on Cat, I don't think is a good matchup for Durant. I think Durant is a great roamer and great at the basket, but Cat's going to pull him out. So I just don't know matchup-wise if this is the best-case scenario for the Pistons. But, again, I am believing in them more and more slowly. I'm going to get there eventually.
No, I believe in them.
I might just need to see it in the playoffs. That's kind of it.
I feel like they win in 5 or 6.
5, bro.
I feel like they win in 5 or 6. I'm not trusting this Knicks team right now.
Nah. Damn. Izzy, how much time we got?
Like 18.
You want to talk about some March Madness?
You know what? Sure, man. What are your big takeaways or, like, big wants or needs in this tournament this year?
Okay. That's a great question, Phil. I just want a good tournament. I feel like last year it was really top heavy. I feel like this year there's a lot more great teams all around in March Madness. I just want to say this for the viewers at home. We are recording this the first day of games, so we might be a little off on opinions. That's why I wanted to put this at the end, because I don't want people listening to this in the beginning and clicking off the video. But we could talk about. I got some teams that I think are going to go on runs. I got some teams that I think I believe in a lot. And I'm going to start with UC San Diego. UC San Diego, to me, I had Michigan winning. I've been doing my research a little bit. UC San Diego is a great matchup for Michigan. They're also very long, very lengthy, so they could deal with Danny Wolf and the other big man.
I forgot his name. Shoot.
But they match up well pretty much, so I got UC San Diego representing California. I got Akron going on a little run. They're a 13 seed. I think
Akron.
They've been shooting it really well lately. They're a little hot. So I got Akron. And then my other team going on a run, I got Illinois. Illinois started the season off very well, slowed off a lot, and then they got hot again, and I think this is the time to get hot. So I have Illinois going on a run. I think I have Illinois in the Final Four, if I'm being honest. But my big team that I love this year, I picked Florida to win it all, but my second option would be Alabama. Okay. I think Bama, out of all the teams that aren't the 1 seed, are the best in the league. They're veterans. Mark Sears, like, I really like this Bama team.
I think UConn has an interesting, like, route, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously they're the 8th seed, and they're going up against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But if they beat them,
which they should,
I think they could have a chance, especially if Dan Hurley's feeling like, yo, everybody want to talk mess about me. Everybody want to talk about if I can't repeat, watch me do it at 8. So
Would that be a three-peat? Did they win the last 2 years?
yeah,
That's crazy.
I think they could go on a little Cinderella run and actually like pull it off.
Hey, they'd have to go through my winners, so don't say that.
I feel like they probably could.
How do you feel about St. John's?
St. John's, man, I keep hearing stuff about them. I don't know too much about them because I haven't seen the games. But is that the team that has Bashir Fleming on it?
I know they have Patino coaching.
That's probably who it is then.
Um,
I think that everyone saying that they can win the tournament is valid. I just don't know if they can beat like the number ones that are up there. Like Duke, yes, they lost Cooper Flagg, but I'm hearing stuff that he may be coming back.
He'll be back.
So hopefully they don't beat my Duke Blue Devils. But I don't know. I think St. John's could win these 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds, and then go on, maybe win the third one, but I don't know if they can win the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw a lot of hype about them, and I love Patino. I think he's a generational coach, obviously. But watching this team, I just don't think they're as good as everyone's making them seem. They did go on a run. They are they're hot right now and all that, but I don't know. I watched them, and because I don't watch college basketball throughout the season, but I rewatched them, and I just wasn't. I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting something I never seen before, and they just play good basketball. So sure, they can go on a run, but I just don't think they're elite. I don't like Duke because they're too good. That's how I feel. I feel like the best team. I mean, UConn's won it the last couple years, and they were definitely probably the best teams. But I feel like if you're too good, you just don't win the tournament. I think that's the rules. That's why I took Florida, because they're not too good, but they're hot right now. I think Auburn has a good chance because they're very veteran-centric.
Yeah, I
Which is
think
good.
I think without a doubt they have one of the biggest chances because of that.
Yeah, literally.
Old ass team.
I don't believe in Houston.
I believe in Houston.
You do? I don't have Houston coming out of their bracket.
I think the only thing holding me down from Duke is whether Cooper Flagg is healthy or not.
I have Georgia beating Houston, actually. Because Asa Newell, baby. Asa Newell.
Oh, snap. You don't think he get locked down?
Nah, he's locked down. But yeah, I mean, we had our March Madness bracket in our Discord. We got 10, 15 people in there, which honestly isn't that many, which is good. Because if you are in there, or if you wanted to join, you could have had a chance at a free jersey. But
we told you.
We missed out on that, unfortunately. We may do, what's it called, a second chance bracket? But we'll see. So get in the Discord. Take a chance, look at it, but I'm going to run through it anyway. So actually, my bracket's about to get busted. I had Louisville winning this game. But anyways, thank you guys for listening to another episode of You Know Ball. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, run the play. Phil, let them know what else they need to do.
Yes, sir. Make sure to add us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Make sure to hit that bell as well. I'm out. This is the man, Ant-Man from MCU. And let's bounce.
Bounce, baby. Boom.